We are so privileged today to sit down with Dr. Maduka. Finally, we're sitting down with you in Las Vegas. I looked so much in research about you and with your title, and I'm like, I can't keep up, and I would like you to name all your titles, please, Dr. Maduka.
Well, if you mean title by the degrees.
The degrees, of course.
Everything. Lay it all out.
Well, we can, I'm sure there's other Dr. Godwin Maduka over there, but you can say
Yes, I saw that online. There was another Maduka.
This one
Godwin's,
have
yes.
a BAc, which is Bachelor of Science in Chemistry.
Okay.
MD, which is Doctor of Medicine, and PharmD, which is Doctor of Pharmacy, PhD, which is Doctor of Philosophy,
Wow.
and DAc, Doctor of Science Honorary.
Wow.
And I guess with triple professorship in anesthesiology, pain management, as well as surgery.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I don't know what else I need to make a whole list right now to keep track.
These are the professions, the skills, the honorates, degrees, the titles, all the above. It is such a honor to have you today for this podcast.
Thank you.
We were so looking for sitting down with you. I think that was the cherry on the cake.
Thank you.
Finding time and sitting down, and you are such an inspirational.
Thank you very much.
People need to hear your story. We were just here a few days. We've been to all your premises. I mean, for where you started, we went to see you in, I think the grand scheme was seeing you in that operation room and begin to do what you're passionately about and what you do to help other people. So I'd love you to tell us your story.
Where did you get started from? What was your childhood like? Because, we did look you up online and there was lots of information about where you came from, your story of how, kind of came from nothing and built your way up. So we would love to know more about your childhood and how you got started.
It's, I think mine is very unbelievable, really. I mean, somebody else is telling me my own story, I would believe it. Of course, I grew up in southeastern Nigeria, Anambra State, precisely. And basically grew up in the village. Did all my schooling in the town that I grew up. And all we can boast of is what we call first grade. Yeah. That's all we had in that town.
Wow. First grade.
This is the town now that have a university, medical school, secondary school, primary school. Mm-hmm. But the time I was growing up in that place, all we could afford is first grade.
Wow.
And for the second grade and third grade and all the rest, you have to go to the next town to finish your school. Mm-hmm. So the town I grew up, it's a very small town. At that point, it's called Nkerehi. Nkerehi, spelled Nkerehi. Now it's called Umuchukwu. Umuchukwu means God's own people.
God's own people.
Yeah, God's own town.
I love Nigerian
names. Nigerian names are amazing.
God's own town.
Very meaningful.
We claimed to be this, and God have shown us that this is definitely His town. Right. So the town I grew up is very. I think we were very primitive. There was nothing to boast about. Mostly farming community. And 90% of the men are native doctors, my father being one of them, which are herbalists.
Oh.
They will, during the farming season, they will be home farming. And then during the off-season, they will trek as far as Imo State, Abia State, Enugu State, to do their vocation.
Right.
In this case, they cure areas of diseases. My own father, which is where I took my inspiration, is a wonderful native doctor. He's a herbalist of the standard I don't even know.
Wow.
He's
1
where.
minute, please. You need to expand because people want to hear herbalist. They will not really understand.
Okay.
Internationally, what's herbalist doctor?
Herbalist is
So-
they deal with herbs, they deal with roots, and they deal with leaves. Okay, or they
It's like holistic. way.
holistic,
Holistic,
mostly natural.
Right.
Okay, they cure diseases from psychiatric disorder, infertility. They cure malaria. They cure STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. They cure different kind of every disease known to man. They will deal with it
Using herbs.
using herbs and roots,
Right.
as well as the leaves. Okay, I used to see people come to our house during the rainy season. We follow our father to the forest, and he will cut off some leaves and all that.
Yes,
Come home,
amazing.
boil it, and give somebody. They have Christianity as well as the traditional religion.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting about mine is that our children, my siblings, all of us have Christian names. Now these are native worshippers, but on Sundays they prepare their children and send them to
Church.
the church.
Right.
Okay, they will go to the church, but they will send their children to the church.
Got it.
And they name us and give us Igbo name, the native
Yes.
names, as well as give us our Christian names.
What is your native name?
It's called Onyaba.
Onyaba.
Onyaba. But you know, the native Igbo names have a meaning.
Yes.
My own is Onyaba. Translating it into English, mean nobody should run away from their hometown or from their family.
And you want now
Yeah.
you're in Vegas.
Onyaba.
But he's going back.
Yes,
Onyaba
yes,
for
yes.
see.
We were talking about what he's building
and
there.
And the thing behind it, my father had such a rough time, you understand? And he was the only child. Actually, in Nigeria, in my culture, if you're the only son, you're automatically the only child. If you're a son, that any other brother. So he's the only son among all his siblings. So he had it rough, and at some point they can't even afford to have a home over their head.
Wow.
That they had to make a thatch leaves, a thatch
Leaves.
house, so that when you rent,
Right.
it might block your head from the rain,
Oh.
but you're not going to block your feet because the flood will come in
Right.
there.
Like the
Yes,
huts
yes.
Yeah, it's a hut.
that they would hand build.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
This is where you came
Yes, I was told that before I was born that they were living with their relatives, and somehow there was a fight, and they were kicked out. Okay, so my mother and my father had to scramble to carry leaves and all that stuff with 3 kids, and when it was raining, they were all standing. Okay, until the rain passes. So when I was born, then my father said, "I will name this child Onyaba," which means nobody should run away from their family. Okay? Stay put, fight on, but let goodness be your strength. You can't be suffering and also be a wicked
Yeah,
person,
yeah.
okay?
Right.
It's not going to work, okay? If we believe in creation. So that's the kind of childhood that I had. Also, we will go to the stream and fetch water in the morning. But before we go to the stream to fetch water, we'll go do farming. At 6 o'clock, everybody is going to do the farming.
Before.
So before going to school. So
Wow.
what we do, we farm at 6 o'clock, And some Nigerians listening to this, or around Brazil or Amazon,
Right.
other places on earth,
Every African
where they have
country,
the same
South
kind
America.
of, that's it, the agricultural culture.
Yes.
We will farm for 1 hour, making mounts for yam and different things. And then after that, we'll go to the stream, the little river,
Yes.
and take shower
Clean.
and clean ourselves. Then you go upstream and take that water and to fetch home. And by the time we get home, our parents would have had our food ready.
Okay.
I think usually we go with my dad to farm. Some of us that can farm without killing yourself over there with those machetes and the other instruments we use for farming.
There was no machines. Let's say that there was
No
everything
machine.
was
It's
hands,
just
cutlery,
instruments.
yes,
Yes, instruments.
Yes.
So sometimes I wish this is not what was happening. Talk about child labor. Who talks about child labor?
Not in Nigeria.
Yeah. Talk about child labor. Who is talking about it? But anyway, by the time we come home, there would have been food ready. And sometimes you roasted yam with oil. You understand how different things the mom could have done, and we eat. And then some of us will take a slate, which is a wood that you use to write on. Some of us will take our books, okay, if depending on the you grade, and we trek sometimes up to 2 to 3 miles to the nearest school.
Wow.
And it better not be late. They don't care whether you have gone to the farm or gone
Yeah,
to the
they-
water.
Yes.
That's it.
Bathe,
Okay? If
walking.
you're late, you just go ahead and present your palms.
They'll
Wow.
flog your hands.
That's they flog you.
Oh my gosh, imagine
It's
you already had a
allowed.
hard day.
Okay?
You just walked 3 miles.
So next time you
5 minutes
So
late.
we if you come home, you have to tell your mom, I don't want to be flogged. So I'm not eating. I'm going to school. Okay?
Oh.
But it was beautiful childhood. We didn't know anything better.
Enjoyed it, right?
We don't know.
Oh, that's
So and as soon as school ends, we're happy to go home. We'll be telling stories. Okay, we'll be joking, going home.
Right.
Africa was good
Oh,
because you don't need to compare to anything.
great memories.
So we'll go home. Then your mom will make you food, and you eat. Then back to the farm. We go to the farm till about sometimes 4 or 5 o'clock. You come home. When you come home, again, you probably have to take a shower in the stream again. You come home, the dinner will be ready. There's no telephone.
Right back
So
then.
if you're late, not coming home, your mom will walk halfway and be shouting your name. That's the phone call. Okay, where are you? Okay, if you are playing around with somebody, you will get flogged anyway. Or sometimes they are worried that something happened.
Right.
So we'll come home, we eat, then it's time to study. You know, this might sound so bad. There is a native candle that we used to study with.
So there's no electricity.
You and who have electricity.
Wow. You hear that?
Yes.
You and who have electricity.
Whoa.
We call it is made out of palm oil. After you extract oil from the nuts
Yes.
of the palm tree, then we
I've
use
heard about
that to make a candle.
Yes.
And then
Like candle wax.
Yes.
a candle.
Yes.
So candle wax, but made out of palm nuts. Okay, the shaft. And then you light it up. That's what you use to study. But sometimes the what do you call it? The fume from that can enter your eyes.
Yes.
You understand? Anybody listening to this podcast will understand this true. At least in Nigeria before the Civil War.
Is it toxic for the fumes?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
sometimes your eyes is red.
Yes.
Okay, if you're lucky enough, you can get a candle.
That will be expensive.
Yes,
right?
it's expensive. Then if you're really lucky enough, you have a lantern. We call it lamp.
Yes,
With kerosene.
kerosene. Yes.
Yes.
Carrot. I've seen them.
So I remember in my 3rd grade, one of my uncles told my dad, this guy is very smart, but we don't want to ruin his eyes before he could even go to college. So let's invest in getting a lantern.
Oh.
Okay?
They saw your
Yeah.
potential.
And then they got a lantern and they light it up. And then, you can be, the kerosene is down there, and you'll be able to study without messing up your eyes. Then you do your homework. Nobody's going to tell your parents, and then they won't be telling you to go and do your homework.
No,
Is everybody have a discipline?
Yeah.
Okay? Like Hillary Clinton once said, it takes a village to raise a child. Those days when I was growing up, every uncle, every members of the community, they see you doing something wrong, they will whip you before your parents gets to you.
So there's a whole village.
The whole village were
Right.
walking, they were all growing together.
Right.
It was such a cohesive atmosphere. So, our favorite during the dry season, when the moon comes out, and then we have to be playing under the moon, because it's like beautiful moonlight
The
coming
light
through
shining.
those
Okay.
trees.
Yeah.
And we're doing hide and seek. We will be doing folk stories, talking about tortoise and how smart tortoise and turtle is, and how the turtle is able to defeat the lion
Oh, yeah.
from cunning. Anyway, that kind of stuff. So that gives you an idea of
Your background.
my background.
Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. So we have at least we can envision what you went through
Yes.
before seeing all this.
Yeah. So did you always know that you wanted to be a doctor? Of course, growing up coming from an herbalist family, at what point, in your life did you decide to actually pursue it, and how did you get out of, the village?
Yeah, my father remains my idol. He doesn't talk much. He died at the age of 49, prematurely. I think out of excessive suffering.
Oh.
Can you imagine having 8 to 9 children?
Wow.
And he's trying to sustain them. Okay? Watching my father. And he used to take me with him, because he does house calls too. One of the things that came to my mind is one of the psychiatric patients. You understand? And then, you give them something to drink. They say, no, you're trying to poison me.
The ones that are like clinically insane.
Yeah, they have a psychotic disorder. And their family banned them hand and feet and brought them to our house. And my father will get the cocktail. Okay? I can never understand it then, but I understand it now. He will say, now, I want you to drink this. It will make you feel better. He said, no, I'm not drinking. He said, listen, I'm going to drink off it too. He would drink a little bit of it. I don't know if he's drinking it or not, but he can see.
Yeah.
But I do know he told me, okay, I'm going to give my son, you drink. Okay?
You?
Yeah, he will give me. But listen now.
Take a sip now.
He said, drink of this, but you know what happened? And they said, well, bro, don't swallow anything. Okay, so then I put it in there, and then they said, we drink, he give me a drink, and then he will give the patient. Of course, he will gulp it. Mm-hmm. Before we know it, he's somewhere slowly with his speech and maintain the psychosis. I had many women and men married with infertility that used to come to our house. Sometimes they stayed there for a long time. And I used to see them come with their newborn babies with tubes of yam for my father. And different...
As a gift and appreciation,
as a gift.
saying thank you.
Okay? Those days, nobody trade. The fee you pay for medical services might be 2 fowls, chicken, or a goat, or 2 boss yam, all that stuff, trade by barter. There's nobody,
Right.
money is very hard
right.
to come by. So they'll bring all this. Sometimes you can come to our house, you see a lot of different gifts, different food, plantain. because that's what they use to compensate for the medical services. So you're asking me, did I ever think, oh yes, I adored him. I see how he healing these people. You know, the act of healing, which I've been
changing
part of
their
now.
lives.
Yes, act of healing is not knowing the science. Okay, you're giving a gift from God, and you're looking at an individual who are actually suffering. How do you relate with them? Especially in pain management, which I deal with, you have to actually figure out what they're going through, or you're not going to make a good pain doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't be a good pain doctor without being like your patient.
Compassionate.
Yeah.
50% of healing sometimes comes from what you say to the patients.
Wow.
You don't want to lie to them, but you want to tell them the truth and tell them what you're capable of doing. Okay? So, having seen that, I used to say, I just want to be just like my father. At that point, I thought I was going to be a native doctor. I wasn't thinking about going to Harvard.
So how did you go? Like, what was the transition point? You know, where did you study? How did you
get to
How
the
did
US?
you get to the US? How did you get to
Thank
Harvard?
you. Yeah, so unfortunately, before I could finish the 12th grade, my father passed away.
Oh.
Okay? And you do know throughout my high school days, I still do farming. Okay, I lived in the dormitory, which is in the hostel. Every weekend, I have to come home to harvest the crops, get the palm tree, palm nuts, make an oil, and go sell. Okay, well, he passed away, and I managed to finish high school. We were taught so highly by our mother. She's the one that gave us the discipline. But we were very close, all of us. Too many, we were born together. That's why I also love children. I have about 5 of my own. You give me time, I probably have 10, but because of the bountiful.
And you guys can all support each other.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
I'm sure after your father passed, it was hard.
There's
so
always
you have
excitement
each
in the place. Okay, sometimes 1 minute we're fighting, the next minute we're friends.
Your little brother was the one providing the finances, or?
Yeah, well, my father was providing the finances.
So he had passed away.
But he passed away
Right.
when I was about to finish high school.
So your brother took over.
But my brother was already learning trade during the time I was going to high school.
Right.
But at the end of high school, my father had passed away. So after I finished high school,
Yes.
I was able to be admitted to University of Port Harcourt to do medicine.
Okay.
Well, you can pass all you want, but who is going to sponsor you?
Right.
Yeah.
From a little village where the
expensive.
average income is less than $1.
Yeah.
So how did you do it?
Yes.
That's the reason I told you about my young brother. So there was a cousin of mine, the whole community contributed for him to go to school in Mississippi. And that cousin of mine sent a lot of forms for us to go to this black school in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Okay? So I got a copy of that from his brother. And I filled it out. Hope is a wonderful thing.
Come on.
Okay? Hope. So I filled it out. Then where do you go to get the money?
Yeah.
You still have to get an airline ticket. You still have to go ahead and get school fees. Yes, it's 50% scholarship.
Right.
But you have to pay for it.
Still expensive.
So then I started going everywhere. I started going everywhere in Nigeria soliciting for fund. Everybody said, well, I don't have. So then I used to take a train from Enugu all the way to the north. On one of such visits, I stopped at Abuja when Abuja territory was new.
Right.
became the new capital. And my young brother was over there. Of course, they're living in the Bacha. If you know what Bacha is is this corrugated iron sheets put together, and they live under it. There's no electricity or whatever, but that's
I
where
think
they
we've
live.
driven past those.
Yeah.
Certain areas.
Yes, certain areas and stuff.
Those days, it's so many of it in Abuja. So he was living in there. So I just stopped by to tell him that I have secured admission to study sciences in US. Which might lead me to study chemistry. Because those days, in my novice way of thinking, I studied chemistry so I would qualify to be a chemist. Then I will study pharmacy to qualify to be a pharmacist. And hopefully study medicine to be a medical doctor. So I will be a chemist, a pharmacist, and a medical doctor.
So these are the titles.
Oh, that's a lot.
Wow.
But do you know that's exactly what happened?
The trajectory that you took.
I studied the chemistry, get summa cum laude in chemistry,
Wow.
almost 4
Wow.
points from the jungle of Africa, then headed to pharmacy school and was able to get my doctorate in pharmacy. Before I could even finish, jumped into medicine and I was able to study medicine. And I spent less than $1,000 for my undergraduate, which I did in 1 year, 6 months. The record is still sitting in there.
Wow.
But we'll talk about it at one point.
Impressive. Wow,
And then
impressive.
the other 4 years in pharmacy, the other 4 years in medicine. But getting back to my brother, so I stopped by to talk to him. He told me, okay, I have heard you. So let's go eat. I said, well, I don't have time to go eat. I'm on my way to Kaduna to talk to one of my cousins who is in the Air Force to see if any money he can give me. His name is Rufus, one of my closest cousin. We were close-knit family. The village, we don't even know whose father is who. Okay? That's how he reminded me that when he was in DMGS on Nisha, I used to climb palm trees for people and harvest the nuts, and they pay me, and I would take the coins, put in an envelope, and sell it and post it to him to DMGS. Because I was telling him what he did for me. He said, you did it for me before I did it for you. You see how close we are. So my brother said, let's go eat. So I followed him. We got over there, we finished eating, and then we passed the curfew in Abuja, and the police took all of us into the thing.
The curfew.
Yeah.
Can you explain what's a curfew?
Curfew is that after certain hours,
You have
nobody
to be
should
indoors.
parade Abuja at that point.
Okay.
So, but my brother who was in Onisha came and bailed us out. That morning I told him, he said, how much you need? I said, I need 7,000 naira. At that point, 1 naira is the equivalent to $2.5.
Yes, it was very high.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
naira was very
Very
strong.
high,
Yeah.
Very strong, I remember.
Okay.
Within this period, Nigeria was still one of the richest countries.
Wow.
You understand? So that morning, this guy said, let's go to the bank. He had 5,000 something in the bank. He took 5,000 Nigerian naira.
That was
and
your
gave
brother.
my brother,
I gave you that money.
a teenager.
Wow.
He's telling me there is no gas hands in my life. You see? So I proceeded to Kafanchan. I talked to one of my uncle, who nobody eats his in our language. Nobody eats his leftover. He doesn't give anybody anything.
So basically stingy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was trying to figure it out.
He's not stingy. He just don't give it.
He don't give anything.
He don't care.
That's it. Mhm.
Tell me why when I came to this guy, he was parading me with his Mercedes, and because all of them have knowledge of my academic
Oh, they've heard
prowess
about you, yes.
in the village.
Yeah, I'm sure news
Because I
spread
never
as well.
came
You're
se-
asking everybody.
Yes,
so-
I never came second, so everybody knew that I had a gift of academic brilliance as a child. So Before I knew it, this man was able to raise 2,000 naira for me. Now I have 7,000 now.
Okay.
Right.
And I went to Air Force Base in Kaduna, talked to my cousin, who gave me 600 naira. Now I have excess. So from there, I will get my BTA, basic traveling allowance, get my passport, get my other necessary amount I need to travel with. And so, before you knew it, I went to Lagos.
How did you get a visa as a Nigerian to come to the US?
I wouldn't give me a visa either.
Because we know
I
the
have oversized-
story.
Isn't it a student visa?
Yeah, student visa.
Yeah,
does that,
I had
yeah.
an
But they have to
oversized.
approve it.
I borrowed a jacket. Okay, a suit.
Because
It was too big for me.
Oh.
Okay, the haircut. Who have I been to a barber? Okay, so when they stood on the line with everything they
At the
required,
American Embassy.
American Embassy in Lagos. The moment the man looked at me and looked at the thing, he said, "Denied."
Oh, really?
Yes. So what happened? I went home. I went back to where I was staying, and one of my brother's friend saw me. He said, No, they made a mistake. They were too busy. You had to go back. By the way, come with us. You stay with us. We can't be staying with this rich man here. Because I thought the rich man would take me to the embassy
Right, help
and they
you
would just
out.
give me
Yes.
that. I didn't know I had to stand in there. So I went back with the guy. In the morning, he did give me akara and pap.
Pub.
Okay? And then we joined the bus back to American Embassy. When I got in there, I was going to the line where the man that denied me visa, I knew he would recognize me. I jumped the line to another line. Okay?
So you
Right.
can
That's
catch
it.
someone else.
Yes, I'm not going to be doing that. So I got to the other guy. I took my time. He said, next. And I give him one. He said, yes. Then I gave him my transcript, which the other guy never even had time to
you
see.
didn't see your
Okay.
results.
And then he said, next. I gave him my, proof of school fees and all that stuff. Saying that, I gave him my guarantors, everything, central bank clearance, immunization. I keep doing that. And he keep looking at me, and I was so afraid that they're going to arrest me. Okay? He took everything. He went to the computer. I said, now I am doomed. But he went to the computer. By the time he came back, I thought he was going to say, listen, you'll be arrested because you were denied. Why are you here today? He said, go have a seat. I said, what? He said, have a seat. Next. He took my passport, took everything.
I'm sure you were panicking right
Yeah,
now.
your heart was probably racing.
I was shaking in my pants,
The
okay?
police are on the way.
Yes. I was really shaking in my pants, and you see all these Navy SEALs, big, majestic, in American Embassy. I said, well, they're going to take me now. That's it. But in the next half an hour, I went inside the restroom and prayed.
Come on.
Oh, yes. There's no other place to pray. So I went to the restroom, locked it, and knelt down.
Wow.
And started talking to God.
Come on.
Yes.
Hey.
I prayed. Yes. And prayed. I said, God, please help me. So what happened is, before I knew it, they called Godwin Maduka, 1 naira 50 cents. I said, what are they talking about? 1 naira 50 cents. Godwin Maduka. And I was afraid to go there.
Right.
The guy said, the next guy sitting next to me said, go pay for your visa, man. Welcome to USA.
Wow.
Oh, come on. The power of prayer.
So I paid, and they give me my passport and say, safe travels. A guy from the jungle, from almost likened it to Amazon, okay, where the villagers don't have a motorable road, where you can see scorpions and snakes parading. Okay, sometimes you come out and see people's house, you can see a snake climbing
no.
that
no.
mud houses. Okay. I used to make a joke. I say I have made my hometown to be like Ireland. Okay. The Irish people banish snakes. I haven't seen snake over there now, because everywhere now been
developed.
cleared. All the trees have been brought
Yeah.
down and the buildings erected. When I got home and we're celebrating, my mother was against me coming to US
Why?
because I was the one that farming with her. I think I used to be the one that listened to her.
Oh, your mommy.
I used to say, why are you so hard on me? But now I realize every parent know their children. Everything he says, when other people are playing, he call me and say, come over here. Okay? I'm the one. Everybody else is doing, but she was
Very
particularly hard on me. So when he used to say, what am I going to do if this guy is not here? So one of my one of my uncles convinced me, said he need to go.
Convinced her, so she let you go.
Yeah, but before she let me go, one morning he woke me up from bed. You know the compound where you had to sweep? Yeah. They swept the compound. He told me kneel down. I was kneeling down. And then he get a bucket of water with a soap and start washing my face.
What a story.
Right? Wow.
Yes.
Anyway.
It's true. It doesn't even sound real already.
Oh, yeah. So he said, this face will not be seen by evil or evil men. She went ahead and said, "He be well with you." Say, "Be safe, my son." Within the next week, I was already on the plane going to US.
Oh, amazing.
Heading to Mississippi.
Come on.
Yes.
I'm excited about your
That's
journey.
how it all started. And it was a whirlwind. Within 12 years, I was in America. I was already boasting of 2 doctorate degrees, a pharmacist, a medical doctor,
Very quick.
Wow.
and
Progression.
with undergraduate degree.
Do you know what we all heard about Mississippi back then?
Well, Mississippi,
Racism.
where I was,
How
then-
Oh
was that?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
known for a lot of racism.
Yes. Yeah, things are different now. Now, thank God for that.
But when you were there,
But when I was here, it was rough. But I didn't know any difference because
Had
it was
favor.
a black college that I went to.
Oh, it's a black
we call it
college.
United College. United
Like an
Negro.
HBCU.
No, UNCF, or United Negro College funded universities.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was about 42. So they really tried their best.
Okay.
It wasn't just for blacks, it's for all minorities all over the
right.
world.
Okay.
Because I have some people from Afghanistan, Iran, some other Middle Eastern countries, and Indians, some Chinese that will go to that school. And they give us a good funding. So those days, the biggest restaurant in the place is Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Good old
You know,
KFC. Yeah.
Yes. So, but I was able to stay there a year. I did the 2 or 3 semesters. I was able to finish because most of the stuff I already knew, so I had to test them out.
Yeah. It sounds like you progressed really fast.
Yeah.
As soon as you entered the US, you were on top of your studies.
Yes. It wasn't
really honed
easy.
in
It
on
wasn't.
that.
There's a lot of hardship. Okay. When I was going to pharmacy school in Atlanta, I was living in the project. I was on food stamp.
So you went from Mississippi to Atlanta.
Yeah.
got your
I got my undergraduate, then I
Right.
had to go straight to doctorate in pharmacy called PharmD. Okay, and
all based in scholarship as well that you're getting.
no, that I didn't
Were you
have full
working?
scholarship in pharmacy school, but I had full scholarship in medicine.
Medicine.
So that's why I had the hardest time over there when I was in pharmacy school
In Atlanta.
in Atlanta. So I was living in the project, couldn't afford light.
Even in the Western world.
Yeah, I couldn't afford light. Now we
on.
pay you school fees.
What?
There wasn't much left. You understand? And a lot of people can associate with this. What you have to go through. Okay? I don't have light. And if you don't have light, you don't have heat. If you don't have heat,
Even in the cold
in
season.
the cold,
fall
there's
season.
no, I mean,
Yes.
I couldn't even afford bed.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't afford bed
Goodness me.
because I had to sleep with a blanket.
On the floor.
And in the morning before I take shower, I have to do a lot of jumping up and down to sweat so that I can jump into the cold water
Cold water.
Wow.
during the November and December
Goodness me.
and 80 for
That is called resilience.
yes, and then to take shower. But eventually, I started working in the library, and from library, I started working as a security guard,
Okay.
so I could
Support
afford to
yourself.
pay for power. And then moved up to another. It's interestingly, where I was living is opposite Martin Luther King Center in Atlanta.
Oh.
So anybody that know that place, called Boulevard Street, Martin Luther King Center will be on the right. This rundown neighborhood I was living is on the left. There's a Baptist church that you have to pass. That's where I was living. And then when I got a little money, I went to the other side on the right. Okay, I could afford then to get light
Yes.
and all that. I was on social security help
Right.
of food stamp because I qualified for it. I had to eat.
Yes.
So it's a great country we moved into. You had to work hard. So from there, then I started working in VA hospital as a pharmacy tech.
Oh. come on.
Yes, and from there things started looking up. I was able to buy my first car. Okay, and moved to a better apartment. And by the time I graduated with my doctorate in pharmacy, I was already at least making a decent living.
Okay. So
By the time I went to medical school, I was making enough money to help people at home.
you
While I was going to
supported.
medical school, yes, because here I am a pharmacy trying to make it. It was still very difficult. Okay, I was working at the Med Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, while I was going to Tennessee School of Medicine, in Tennessee, in Memphis.
Then you transitioned to your doctorate.
Hmm?
You went to get your doctorate.
Yeah, see, I have 2 doctorates now. I have
So that time-
and I have doctorate in pharmacy, called the PharmD.
PharmD. Okay.
After my bachelor's in chemistry.
Thank you.
Then
That's
I
very
took JAMB,
yes.
scored one of the highest in the nation,
In
and I got full scholarship
wow.
to go to University School of Medicine in Memphis.
Memphis.
Yes.
Wow.
And on academic scholarship. And when I finished, then I did my internship. And from internship, then I sought residency at Harvard, and they accepted me.
Harvard.
Harvard.
How was getting to that school? Because everyone knows Harvard
Yeah, it's
is
very
elite.
prestigious.
Yes,
So
elite school.
Well, one thing is, you don't go to Harvard by accident, and there's no affirmative action in Harvard.
There's none.
Yeah, they would look for one thing, the tenacity. They look at your background.
Right.
Coming to Harvard, I already have 3 degrees, bachelor's in chemistry,
3
doctorate
degrees.
in
so
pharmacy.
yeah, you were overqualified for
Yes.
Harvard.
So they looked at that,
Indeed.
and I was accepted, but it was really hard. Okay, that's a very difficult program, but I survived it. I mean, I lived the rest the imagination, and I was able to finish from there, and pass the board, both written and oral, and sought for a job here in Vegas.
Vegas. So that's why you transitioned to
Yes.
Vegas.
Why Vegas?
Well, during that time I finished, that's where I could get a job. I went everywhere in the country.
Even with all those qualifications.
Yes. And I leave some dotted lines in there. Why you wouldn't be getting any job. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The skin
One thing
color.
one thing I did say is that I will never
Racism.
discriminate in job. That's why you've come to you've been
Oh,
to my
we've
Yeah.
seen
Yes.
you,
Yeah.
your employees.
We're united in
all
nation. That's
shades.
it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my job, in my office, in my practice, you see men and women of all religious background, with all orientation, with different racial background. So you will see everybody in there.
We did.
Because if you're given the opportunity to be an employer, it is a privilege that somebody like I, who has been looking for a job many times, have been denied based on one thing or the other.
Oh.
Okay.
I can't even imagine what excuse they would write down.
Oh, you don't want to know. But at that point, everybody works, and I've been practicing in this town now for more than 25 years,
25.
and we're still strong. We play by the book. Okay, you practice here for more than 10 years. You know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Period. Okay, saving life. Okay, making people feel good.
Right.
With the qualification that I have in pharmacology and pharmacy, with the background in anesthesiology and surgery.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Highly
Okay.
qualified.
That's not being
Honestly,
intelligence,
yeah.
but I have.
You're number
no, I
one
have
for
the
a
knowledge.
reason. You're
You're
number
number
one
one,
for a
yes.
reason.
Yes, I have
You're
the
number
knowledge.
one.
Yes,
You're
come
number
on.
one here.
Come
so
on.
my patients love me too. Okay, and enough for me to be successful in this.
Yeah, we even got to talk with some of your patients, your staff.
Yourself as well.
Everyone speaks very highly of you.
Very
I mean,
highly.
Even telling us how you took care of their school fees, even here in the US. So everyone always speaks so highly of you, even just the few people that we've interacted with
Yeah.
and
Yes.
the few patients
So
that
we're
we've
very
also
grateful
spoken
that you
with.
gave them opportunities.
I have a background. Okay, like my native land. Okay, even when they were worshiping their gods, is a village thing. They got together. They live by a certain principle. Well, I was born a Catholic. You understand? Went through confirmation and all that. And you can't go to church that many years without finding what you're supposed to do. And if you're given the opportunity, do not deviate from that.
Finding your purpose and your
Jesus
purpose.
said, when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. And when I was naked, you didn't clothe me.
Yeah.
And then they will ask him, when was it that you were naked and we
Yes,
didn't give you
right,
clothes?
right.
And when was it that you hungry, we didn't feed you? He said, whatever you did to the least of you people, you do for me.
To me.
Life is a mystery. I still believe you do more good than harm in life. At the end of life, you should be okay.
You are a big philanthropist.
Yeah.
Very
Yes,
big
You
philanthropist.
shouldn't be afraid of going to the next level, because it's not really the amount of what you do to other people, it's the spirit with which you done. Man, I have seen people that are helped with as little as $300. And today they're doing very well. That's a gift that I thank my Lord for giving me,
Having
because I wasn't doing it with a clear eye, okay? Because you understand
Yeah.
me? I mean, people I helped that are my worst enemies right now. And there are some people that show appreciation.
I find it so powerful in terms of because sometimes life will determine who you are, whether good or bad. But I could resonate with you, because whether people cheated me, did anything bad to me, and I tried to help, you still been consistent in your giving. It hasn't stopped you.
It can't.
It hasn't stopped you.
If you
Because some
did.
people say that I'll never help.
Yeah, and
nobody
they'll
again.
get bitter
They'll
and
get
harden their hearts,
Exactly.
but you still keep giving.
If you dead, you cannot give. David in the Bible said, Lord, do not let me go to the pit. Because from the pit I cannot praise you. I cannot praise you, Lord. So when you are alive and given health, it's a privilege, not a right. Do the most you can so that you can have peace. You might never have a total peace, but err on the side of goodness than just being utterly wicked. And you see, wicked people, I pray for them. Why? I don't know. I don't think they know any better.
They don't.
So what you can do for a wicked person is to pray for them for salvation. Say, God, help these people. Okay?
And with that, I love that we went to your facilities. We were able to go to 4 of your facilities. And can you please explain? I mean, real estate, whereby you said it's not just, I'm renting this facility and having this surgery, having all these various things in buildings, but you own the land, you built. And even today, we spoke to one of your, I think,
Employees, the radiologist.
Yeah, radiologist. And he was even really affirming, saying that this was designed when we went to
he's a builder.
He's
yeah,
a builder
he builds
too.
from scratch.
From scratch. So even that intelligence, I'm saying, I want to leave a legacy. I want to own everything. Can you please explain how many facilities you have?
If anybody tells you that they get up one day and say, I'm going to be successful, that's not true. I'm a living example. From drinking from the parasite-infested river,
Right.
where you have to defecate worms, to building a mega medical center system in Las Vegas, Nevada, without losing a life.
Wow.
All these years.
Yeah, that's applaudable.
Okay.
I salute
Yeah,
you.
definitely
So-
God's grace.
Every day you have to think about that. So all I can say is I can't explain to you how all come together, but I'm a man of faith.
I just want to explain what you have, the facilities.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, exactly how many facilities you own.
Yeah, well, I had 6 facilities all around southern Nevada. Okay, each of my facilities is a building that I built myself, or I acquired and changed into a medical center. Okay, if you're a good textile maker, you will have a lot of customers. Okay, if you're a good doctor, we don't care if you come from Timbuktu and you help somebody. You say, well, guess what, friend? I have the same problem you have. But there's this African guy that, I don't know what he did, but look at me today. I'm doing well. They will come. And do not let anything take away your healing gift. Because the most wonderful vocation is being a physician. Physician
for pain.
Okay?
Pain, doctor.
Pain as well,
Pain,
because pain
that
is
Yes,
gratifying.
the official pain doctor.
If you ever been in pain and somebody take away your pain, they will hug you.
Oh,
Right,
yes.
come on.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why those were built. I also got lucky. I had a serious amount of education. When I finished from Harvard, I didn't stop. I had to end up earning my PhD in medical management.
Wow.
I had to get into more continuing medical education all around the world. I had to learn most of the cutting edge that will help me with my patients. I had to make sure that we one-stop center. I don't want to see a patient today. Well, I need to know what they're suffering from, which means you have to do radiology of their back. So I had to get MRI or CT scan. So I had to buy all those and have them. I had to have lab to give me what I need to see. If somebody bleeding from their nose or whatever, you need to know what their bleeding time is. You don't want to be getting in trouble. So there's a necessity to have a lab in-house, radiology in-house. We also end up having primary care and urgent care in-house. This is one of its own type. I don't know anybody else that have it in the country. We have
That's
a medical
amazing.
center for pain.
Yeah, it's everything. We saw the long list
Lo and
on the
behold,
sign, and you don't need to go anywhere else.
yeah, we even
Everything is
have
in
a
the building.
swimming pool for spinal cord injury
Right.
or people that cannot exercise, because we have physical therapy, we have chiropractor.
Yeah, we saw the big pause
Okay?
that you had.
Yes. Not everybody will get injection. Not everybody will do surgery. You see me performing surgery today. So, but we have enough medical training. I and most of my group members, plus the nurse practitioners, will teach them very well too. So it becomes common nature to them. So you're talking about those facilities. That's why people keep coming. For that reason, we spread it around for more than 20-something years.
Wow.
Consistency.
And they keep coming. Life was being saved. Pain was taken away.
Yeah, we witnessed it today, and
Yes.
it was amazing. We've never
Okay.
been in that setting before.
If you
so-
ever been a pain patient, it will make you lonely. I never seen any pain, somebody suffering from chronic pain that is 100% upstairs, because it will alter your life.
Every
Yeah,
single
yes.
part of your
Everything
life.
about you.
Yeah.
What about pleasure? You be stuck to them. But before people like us came into pain management, all you do is get pain medicine or you get surgery. Now with the alternative, I can tell you that the resurgence of new age pain doctors, wheelchair people will go out of what?
Yeah.
Business. Because we're saving these people,
You are.
and before they get, and when they get to the surgical thing, those we have very competent spine surgeons. So we do a little bit of a little here. We deal with everything pain. If your back that causing pain is something that we can do, we do that. If you're a woman and if from organ, female organ that causing, we know exactly what to do to alleviate pain while you specialist is dealing with the problem. People with headache will know exactly what to do. I have some medication mixture that if you're having headache, we'll make sure it's not having aneurysm or whatever.
Yeah,
But
you
you have
actually
severe
check.
headache, we'll give you this stuff. I'm a pharmacist at the chemist. Within 20 seconds, your pain is gone. I had it now for more than 20 years.
Yeah. I do have to ask, obviously you're very entrepreneurial. You didn't just want to, practice at another facility. You wanted to create your own, which you did. But that is still very expensive to start, medical equipment, whether you renovated a place or, built it from scratch, it's still very expensive. So did you have any donors or support into that, or did you save for a long time, or did you start small and slowly expand? Because we did see your first facility, and even though it's the smallest of all of them, it's still, I'm sure, costed a lot of money. Medical equipment is a lot. How exactly did you navigate that, from an entrepreneurial standpoint and building that business, the very first one that you did?
Which I would say probably financial discipline on understanding the system to acquire all this. Because, anybody else will probably have one facility and be very happy.
Or
and so-
even just, starting up with the
Yes.
first one, it's still very expensive. So
How would you advise somebody in any other field and they said, okay, I want to start owning my business, the progression,
Listen, I did have some tough time.
as per usual, as anybody else?
I speak with accent.
Yes.
I'm from Africa, now American. And I don't blame anybody that didn't want to give me loan or want to invest in me. I don't blame them.
So you're not...
Because they don't know me.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't
of
know what I'm
course.
about.
Yes.
Well, one look at me, they say, oh, I don't
there's
want to
already
waste
a-
my
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
perception.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
You know.
let me tell you something. I had a group of men in this town that I owe most of everything, except for my education. I owe them for my success. Now, it's interesting that they're not from Nigeria. I'm not going to say the nation. Okay? Yeah, this particular man, I'm just had to name him. His name is Rokanda Prabhu. Okay, when I was having such a hard time, what a goodness. See my patient, anybody with pain, see them. I started doing very well. We said, oh, whoa. I'm going to give you a place downstairs. It's about as small as this. So start having your own clinic.
Oh.
I can't just be seeing this with you. Obviously, they like you. So I moved to the small clinic downstairs. I have one exam room, about a room that we sit about 4 people, waiting room. Okay. Not much, about 100, not even up to one, about 500 to 600 square footage. Very tiny. Oh, I was so happy that I have my own clinic.
Liberty.
But no success comes without hard work.
Of course.
And dedication and being a good person. I'm not saying that I'm that great, but I'm just telling you. Yeah. You can't be doing people wrong and you think you're going to survive. It will come back and haunt you.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So that's what happened. And then I used to come to work and there would be 10 people outside in the balcony because there's no room inside.
Wow.
From that place, I was able to get my first building, which you went to.
Wow.
Yeah, from 1,000, less than
From a
1,000
little
square
cubicle.
footage to about 12,000 square footage.
That's incredible.
What is what is India is you have somebody who said, I see something on this man, so I'm going to give you your first push. So my message, if you see anybody you can push, it won't take you much, push them and leave them and their God to move on. So I was able to get my first building at Jones.
Yeah, that's a big upgrade.
Yes. And not only upgrade, I have this idea of having it like a day hospital. So I put surgical center there. Put a pain clinic there, physical therapy there, primary care there, everything there, lab, everything, radiology. And it took off. Patients will come, if they need procedure, they go next door. If they need the physical therapy, they go next door. We don't need to refer them to Timbuktu.
Everything is in-house.
Yeah, everything is in-house.
Smart.
Yeah.
And the effect of pain is you don't have to wait for pain.
Right.
They don't have time to go to some radiology somewhere or go to physical therapy
With long,
somewhere.
even wait time.
Is,
I've experienced it.
Yes.
You have to wait months for an appointment.
Yeah, you don't want to
and-
do that. So that's my legacy
You find a
in
solution.
pain medicine.
You find a solution.
That's why I was able to get to 6 of them.
Wow.
Plus, I'll keep getting men and women that I think are compassionate and, know how to treat patients. Okay? You can't hire somebody that doesn't share the same idea as you. So, I can say more than 1/4 of pain doctors in this town went through me. Okay? Either they work for me or they interviewed me.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
Okay.
Your buildings are everywhere.
Yes. So that's why we got to about 6 locations. And location is building, not having a clinic in a retail store, okay, with other neighbors. No, we had no tenant.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Okay, it
It's
just
a building
us.
itself.
Yeah,
Yes.
it just us.
Just you
Okay,
guys.
sometimes I had some empty floors, okay, because I don't want anything that will compromise my patient care. I don't want some tenants fighting my patients.
Yes, of course.
Okay? And whenever I want to upgrade, I didn't want to have to wait. I would just go and incorporate more. So after a while, we did very well. But, I'm not a young chicken anymore. I had to cut down from 6 to 4. And still seeing almost the same amount of patients. But it's easy to manage.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So that's exactly how we're able to, if you know your area or specialty, just be a human being. Don't let anything get between you and your patients. I mean, not every patient is going to be perfect patients, but don't forget you're a healer.
Yes.
They don't always go to sing your praises. Okay, so if you remember you're a healer, it doesn't mean you're going to heal all those who love you. Okay? You're just going to go ahead and treat everybody and thank God for giving you that opportunity to be healing his children.
Definitely.
You know?
Yes,
So that's how we were able to get to where we are. And
Very impressive. Very impressive. And I love that you did not just stop here in Las Vegas in the US. You've moved on back to where you come from. Can you please talk about what currently you're doing, what you've built back home as well?
you know, what most people don't even know, even before going to home, I was doing it here in US.
really?
Yes, I was, giving people opportunities. I was helping a lot of people that I can help.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
yourself. That's I'm
for
sure there's
example,
countless more.
during the Lent, they will say, you need alms giving, you need the prayers, and you need the fasting. Well, if you only give alms giving to the people you know, you're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I have this route that I take from 95 go to Charleston, and I know all the stops of the homeless. During the Lent, I'm going to have those money. Okay? You're giving them $1. What are they going to do with $1?
It's true.
Okay? Or you see all these people say something in TV, just $3 a day, you can save somebody in Somalia or somebody in Ukraine.
Right,
You
yeah,
understand?
yeah.
We used to even do
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah. You do that, like,
You
We were
can just, you don't have to be
sponsoring,
doing that. You
child.
can just do whatever you can and give them. You know, the other day I was thinking, they keep saying I did this in my hometown. Well, the church that I go to here is called St. Francis of Assisi. My name and my children's name is still in front of that church with the original builders
Wow.
that built that church.
Come on.
Right here. Okay? We used to go to the elementary school or high school where we conduct our masses. Okay? During that period, our assistant bishop then was our pastor, who is our assistant bishop here in Las Vegas. And then every family were contributing. I'm not going to say how much I contribute, but we were one of the biggest donors. Okay? From providing the different things, from even the pew you sit on,
So you built
and
the
to different
church.
things. In terms of going home,
Yes.
if you pay all your bills and pay everything you owe, and you have anything left, and you go home, and you see people dying,
Mm,
you have to do something about
yeah.
that. Okay? Because they remind you of what you left behind. Philanthropy didn't, it's not out of the wind. It was a necessity. And I had the full support of my family, including the children. Okay? Let me tell you something. I went home one time during the Christmas period, and we think we have a dog. I don't know what happened. The dog almost severed the artery of my daughter.
No way. It bit her.
Did her
hand.
bad. If I didn't build that hospital that's helping the villagers at home,
Wow.
and remember, building a hospital in Nigeria is not that expensive, really, because the manpower is cheap.
The building
Yeah.
materials.
Okay, the building
everything.
material is not the amount you pay
Yeah.
for here.
Yeah.
Especially those early days. You have more surplus workers than you even have the job. So things were easy. Your money will go a long way.
Yeah, so your daughter
So
went
it's-
to the hospital that
they will
you
go
built.
to the hospital and they sutured you quickly and she was okay. Even me, I was walking around with people doing one thing or the other and I fell into a hole. I almost broke my hip and my hand tore from the elbow to the triceps. Big gaping wound. I had to be sedated in that hospital where they sutured me.
The hospital that you built.
That I built.
Come on.
Okay.
I love that.
Well, I had some people that had a breech babies. Okay. They had to call an OBGYN who flew down and perform cesarean operation.
In your hospital.
in that hospital. They're delivering babies, they do major surgeries, they doing primary care, they doing all that. Every time I see that, I feel good. And then, remember the schooling system. Remember how I said that I had the primary one, grade one?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And how now that they're
Now,
all there.
we had to build the grade school. From
Oh, so
one-
you built the school that's out there.
Hmm?
You built the school out there.
Yeah, we
in your
built the
hometown?
elementary school.
Elementary school.
So they don't
Then-
have to walk 3 miles.
Yeah, they don't have to walk. The kindergarten, every time you can hear, I go home, you can hear their voices going through the roof.
Aw.
Okay, and then after that, it's time to build a secondary school, which is high school. Okay, back to the home. As I remember coming home one day, I can you imagine living in Las Vegas and you going up to be beaten by a snake? Hell no, I'm not doing this. And I can't run away from home. My name means do not run away from you home, okay? So, since I'm not going to run away, but I don't want to live with the snakes and the scorpions, and I want to be able to have a motorable road.
Oh, wow.
And I
so now you need the road
and I
too.
still need to have a place. I will lay my head down, even if I'm going to be doing this mission in Nigeria. Okay? Okay? Oh, in every town, there is also those bad criminals. We had to build police stations
Oh, you did.
to keep people in check so that people understand. You can't just do whatever you want to do. Oh, our people used to drive days to go to the court. We had to build magistrate court and, high
new
court.
community.
That's basically like they should
Yes.
name it.
Town, a whole new
Right?
community. You know, the
Yes.
schools,
Yes. You have
doctors,
to do all that.
hospitals.
Oh, area
Well,
of
yeah,
Yeah,
religion.
you know those games and you make your own town and you keep
Yes.
expanding?
Right.
Area of
That's
religion.
basically what he did in
We
real
Christ-
life.
yeah, we're Christians, right?
Yeah.
You can't just be, because I'm Catholic and just be a Catholic and that's it. Oh, no. We had to build the Jehovah Witness,
Oh, wow.
Anglican church, a Catholic
Oh,
church,
the whole
whatever you
list.
need. Okay, so that people can worship their God.
That shows your heart posture as
Yes.
well.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So that community now, and the biggest and the best thing that I thank God for every day is building Transatlantic University School of Medicine and Health
Yes,
Sciences.
let's talk about
Let's talk
it.
about
I
it.
even need to add some photos
We'll
in.
send-
This
Yes.
is
We'll add the
absolutely incredible.
Yes. So that town now, they no more the jungle, they no more the Amazon.
Oh, I
They
love
are
that.
now a very decent city.
You came back and
Yeah,
transformed
yeah.
the whole
There's a road and
yes,
bridges.
place.
Then it took about 20 some to 30 years.
Wow.
They say 1 year, 1 block, but we were persistent. Okay, so every time I see that, I thank God. It wasn't without problem though. There's always going to be some bad apples that want to, and you're supposed to expect that. Otherwise, you're not a human being. It doesn't matter how good. Look at Jesus. What did he do wrong?
Nothing.
Well, he was killed, right? Or other folks in a different religion.
I love that because a lot of people will say, "Oh, I got hurt, so I'll never do this again. I'll never do that again." How I now you, she said your heart posture, that was your transformative. That was because you've been bitten so many times. We're not talking about just physically, but so many times. But you are still consistent in your giving and expanding, and you've even gone back home. And you obviously you said there were bad apples too, but yet you're still consistent.
Yeah, all you do is, there's
How would you advise somebody? Because
all I can advise somebody, you can't get up and say, I want to be a philanthropist. It doesn't work that way, really. You can't just say, I'm going to be a philanthropist. I think it's a gift.
Yes.
But you also, to maintain that
Yeah.
gift,
It's a
you have to
gift.
keep praying for it.
yeah, to keep
You
praying for
understand?
it.
And you can't do philanthropy by yourself alone. The wife, the children, the family, everybody is involved at one point or the other. You understand? Because it becomes a family or community affairs. But even within that, for my belief, you understand? My belief, even during the period of the Bible how people do goodwill. Okay? There was this king in the Bible that was supposed to be dying. He was so sick. He was dying. Is it Nehemiah or Nehemiah? Anyway, I'm not too much of a good student, but
Do
I
you
know
know
this.
him?
Yeah.
Kings,
And then he was going to die.
Nebuchadnezzar.
God tell him he's dying, and then he sent one of those
Levites.
no,
Prophets.
I don't know, but whoever listens to the podcast will know
Okay,
what I'm talking
someone
about.
write it in the comments.
Yeah, somebody will
Piece
know.
Put it down, put it
together.
down.
He said,
We'll ask
God,
chat.
he said, why are you going to kill me? Haven't I done things you want me to do? Even without being told. But you led my spirit to do all this. Guess what? God gave him 15 more years.
Oh, yes. Oh, what's his name again?
I need to read my Bible more.
I know who you're
So,
talking about. I know who.
you
Yes.
got to know your
Yes,
own
50
destiny.
more years. Yes.
Yeah, you know your destiny. Okay? And when God wants to use you, oh, he does use you. Sometimes I go back and see what he used me to do in America and in Nigeria. If you say start today, I'm going to tell you I don't know about all that. But that time you look like you're in a trance. He will provide for you to do that. He will make way for you to help his people. To whom more is given, more is what?
required.
Expected. So that's what was happening with the philanthropy. It's like you're like drunk with and your prayers will be answered. Okay? I believe that I'm alive today because of my philanthropy. I have met death many times.
Yes. I believe so.
Really?
You're right.
Okay?
You're right.
I believe, you know what I used to say? I don't know if it's a good story or not, or if it's a good prayer. I used to say, God, make me your remote control.
Have
Can
your
I
way.
just be your remote? Boom, it works. Okay? So it's a feeling like no other. And one of the things that I like is that I will come home, somebody say, you paid my school fees. I say, when?
You can't even remember the
I don't
good that you
remember.
do.
It's like your
And-
dad. He never
yes.
remembers.
Or you
So
helped
many people
me
comes
get a
back
home
to-
when we had it on.
Yes.
Okay? Or you helped me with business for all these years.
Yes.
And he can say, God, take this away from me, then his way will be done. Understand? There is, and in my life, I thank him for what he has done, especially with the gift of Transatlantic University School of Medicine and Health Sciences.
Oh, that is
Yes.
absolutely incredible.
So, it will cooperate everything I learned. People will be going there for School of Medicine. People will be going there for pharmacy, nursing, radiology, everything you see.
Just like how everything is in
what
the
you see
buildings,
there.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Even I'm also trying to incorporate veterinary medicine in there.
Wow.
There will be School of Physiotherapy, lab research. Remember what my father was? A herbalist?
Holistic doctor, yeah.
Yes.
So you'll have that
Native
too.
doctor. No, now we're going to get those roots
Yes. Come
and
on.
the plants
And use it.
and synthesize and analyze.
That's incredible.
And then we can even align with some companies, okay? Okay, because this is proven
Yes.
that it
Yes.
works,
Yes.
okay? In the area of malaria, okay? Malaria. What is the best cure for malaria area if you really want to know?
We give you Nivaqueen, no?
Like liver queen, but is the liver queen actually the best treatment?
No, it's not. It's not.
But
Oh, I
if
don't
you're
know.
surprised what I think is the best treatment.
What is
Tell
it?
me.
Kill the damn mosquitoes, okay? Get some insecticides.
Yes.
Get some.
I don't know. There's some people releasing
Yeah,
mosquitoes
well,
right now.
yeah.
People
Get the
are
one
releasing-
that will not get everybody else sick,
Yes.
and just spread the damn thing
Yeah.
every day for 1
Right.
month in
Honestly.
every community after community.
It's true.
They
Honestly.
will die.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
Use
and
a
we're spending
solution.
billions
Yes.
and billions of money for these mosquitoes.
Yes.
Okay, so in my research, that will be there too.
Wow.
Tropical diseases, sickle cell,
Oh, that's big in
Yeah, Africa.
in
Sickle
Africa
cell.
too.
Africa, you black people.
you have the highest indemnity of prostate cancer in the part of the world I come from.
Yes. It's
Really?
Yes.
A lot of black men suffer.
But especially in Igbo land, where I come from. Oh, yes. Almost everybody I know died from it.
Wow. Interesting.
Okay? Prostate cancer. Okay? Some malaria and parasite. I have sung more boreholes in my community. Now, they won't be drinking that parasite. I just came home from Nigeria and one ended up in the hospital for eating a fish.
Oh, you told me that. Oh, she
okay.
herself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Had a
I
really
also
bad-
had food poisoning
Okay, and
in
then food
Nigeria.
poisoning. So now, what am I going to do when I go there? And I have to take canned food or something. But you can't just go home. That's another area now. I have to be figuring out what to do. There's a lot of work to be done. Okay, so I thank God for making Transatlantic University School of Medicine and Health Sciences a reality. It's what a befitting thing.
It is.
When I went to the Western world to learn, I have brought it
And
home.
home. Now no one needs to go further.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
everything will come
We
to
will
the-
be doing transplant, kidney transplant in
Wow.
there. Okay, we'll be doing dialysis
Amazing.
in there. You don't have to travel many miles to get CT
Yeah.
scan or MRI. People suffering with pain, that will be a befitting pain center there. You understand?
Yes.
So then again, hope and vision have to be backed by prayers. Prayer works.
We say, tell them about his offices. Every office that we went to, his office.
Every single one of your offices always has a prayer area.
Yes, to pray.
You know, we can see Mother Mary. We can just see that in every single building,
Yes.
there's a prayer room, which is
Prayer room.
shows like the foundation of.
You know, some people might say I'm fanatic. That's fine. I know who was for me. I know how many times I had to pray. You really think it's easy to haven't lost a life in pain management with all the dangerous procedures we do?
Very dangerous, yeah.
Okay? You seen one of them today?
Yes.
Saw
I
you the
was
back
doing
Any
that.
wrong move?
Yes,
You
any
saw the
wrong
back
move.
open.
Okay, you have a spine that is very
Yes.
close to the
Yeah,
needle.
we watched the spine surgery
So
today for context.
the thing about it is, I got to keep them enough sleep so they don't get up and pitch themselves against my needle and sever their spinal cord.
We saw that, like, you know,
Okay,
keeping
so
the head
everything I
down.
learned, you saw in that place, I doing the anesthesia at the part. They'll still be, they are awake, but you make it sure that they don't move. They can hear you.
So today's surgery, because we heard that some groaning, the person was awake, right?
Yeah, well, he's awake, but he's not feeling any pain.
Yes, not feeling any pain.
Yes, I did both local anesthesia as well as narcotics, as well as human. You don't remember any
Right,
of that,
yes.
but it can still taught him.
we
You understand?
saw
It's something that you don't learn in a day. So I had to use my chemistry, I had to use my pharmacy, I had to use my anesthesiology, I had to use my surgery.
So they won't remember.
No, they won't remember
That is
most of it.
amazing.
No, we have what they call retrograde and antegrade amnesia.
I didn't even
And
know.
with
this.
the medication that we give them, they don't remember. Every once in a while, we put them totally out with some medication
Yeah,
called
that's normally how it is.
Propofol.
You
Yes,
just knock out
but
and wake
there are
up.
some procedures we do. You have to know anesthesia enough.
Very,
not
very
to-
well.
Yes, because you give them Propofol when they wake up, they're getting up at the wrong move.
Yes.
You can't do that. So the lady, when she left, she was feeling pain-free. I wish you had stayed long enough to see when we turn it on and their pain flow from their brain is blocked. They don't feel pain.
Wow.
You understand? And you have to be surgically placed the battery inside them,
Yes.
put the those wires next to the spine, and turn it on. We do so many of that.
So this will be everything you're doing
Every
here.
day,
Will be done
every day.
in Africa too.
Yes, definitely this will be in Africa. Africa is the new frontier.
It is.
Okay, and I'm glad there's American presence in Africa now. Okay, so that the Nigerians in diasporas can go home and help these human beings.
Because usually what happens, I know with my family for years, uncles, you know, anything that happens, everyone's from Africa will have to go find facility in Germany, England, or places because they don't have those equipments or whatever they are going through. So the fact that you have a center in Africa in, so they could just take a plane and head towards,
They have
the
a
US
landing pad
airport.
over there. They can fly.
Come on, it's got
They
a
can
landing
come
pad.
and fly over there.
Don't need to go abroad.
You see, I'm glad. I thank God for being part of this great nation, and I paid my dues as well. Okay, and then my patients from every walks of life. You've seen them today.
It's so inspiring because one thing I do believe in is we love Africa. I've been qualified, educated, and I truly believe that it's time for us to come, the diaspora, coming back and using all our expertise. If everybody was like you, having that mindset like we have,
to come and
back
home.
in every field and say, okay, I'm coming back and teaching. If I can't do it, teaching somebody, doing something back to my country, in my expertise, my field. Africa.
Let me tell you what the problem in Africa is. You see, remember I dabbled into politics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you told us the story too.
You need to have people. I'm not saying all of them don't. Okay? Africa can thrive. If they understand what other nations are. Look at China, look at Dubai and the United Emirates.
Speak to Gen Z because
Yeah, Gen Z is.
Speak to Gen Z.
No,
right
but
now
they're
to
doing
come
good
back.
though. Then Gen Z.
They're willing to. I think
that's
they're
the thing.
different mindset. I have Gen Zs at home, my children.
My Gen Zs too. The thing is, the people that are ruling the country or the state or the community have to give way to people that know what to do. You can't block that progress for you, just you and your family. We are a country with rich natural resources. We also have a lot of intelligent people. Let me tell you, there's no hospital that I know in this country you won't find a Nigerian medical doctor.
Oh, anyway.
Oh,
So-
it's
It's everywhere.
Okay, everywhere.
I've traveled around the world.
Okay,
We've moved
so
around the world.
they're there.
Yeah.
And they're doing their best. I'm not saying they're the best, but they're competing with their peers.
Yes.
So we have what they call brain drain. Why would you be in a society where you're not giving that thing? This country gave me the opportunity to do whatever I got to do because it will benefit the country and me.
Yes.
You don't have the same land, that same thing in Nigeria. Because you have people who don't even understand it. I said, if you want to stop brain drain in Nigeria, create opportunities for doctors to get well trained and pay them well. I have some, the kind of money we waste in a lot of stuff, we can have a universal insurance scheme.
It is.
Yes.
Okay?
It is.
It's a rich nation. I believe we're even richer than South Africa. I think I'm beginning to see Nigeria going to the right position now. Okay? I'm not going to talk about something that mess up this beautiful podcast, but Nigeria will soon be good because the Westerners are going there.
Well, I went to a conference about 3 years ago, and we had expertise in the business field in internationally, Canada,
That's it.
America. And do you know what they said at the conference? Most companies, multi-million-dollar companies around the world, have been looking at Africa. There is nothing else they can do in the West. They're all looking for in Africa.
That's the thing.
So I wish we could understand that and begin to place time and goals and vision back to our nation.
Education is important for the health of a nation. Educate our people, they know their right. They know how to struggle. You understand? And our leaders will also be well versed in education. We should put embargo that if you're going to be running for a government, you have to have at least some basic educational category. I'm not saying that if you don't have a degree that you know well, there are some people that will also still be in that are even better than people that have an education. But let's get people be well informed to be dealing with this country otherwise. So in the area of Nigeria, that's why somebody like me, one of the best things that happened to me is bringing home what I learned in the Western world. And some of my friends from US, England, different places, Canada, they will come home and be part of the academic staff that will teach this.
That's good. That means you also, I'm sure, are paying them very well, to relocate all the way.
Oh, yeah. But
Yeah.
some people actually don't really mind the too much pay. If they're like me,
Oh.
they want to give back.
Yes.
You
to
understand?
The nation. I love that.
Okay, when you're 50 years old or more and you already done well, okay, you have enough to have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Well, it's time, okay?
It's true.
It's about time to
I
start,
understand.
start helping your
Yeah.
neighbors and
That's-
helping the country.
That's where I'm at too. You just you're fully qualified. You worked, attained so much, and now you're coming back to your country and say, okay, let me pour in and
Yeah. For the love of the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
In terms,
Uh,
yes.
yes, it's one of those things. So, I don't want anybody listening think that most of these were planned. Okay? But stay around the positive people enough. You pray, whatever religion you have, find the goodness in that religion. There's some part that unites all of us. Incorporate it in your willpower. There's more power in doing good than doing bad. There's power in that. Okay? It brings good people to you. Okay? Oh, doing good won't bring you bad people. They might try to chase you, but it will bring you some real good people like you. So at least you're part of this world before you leave it. That what did I leave behind? And you don't have to build a skyscraper like transatlantic for you to believe you did something well.
Let's talk about the tallest building, the 17th floor building that you built, one of the tallest building.
1 year, 1 block.
Beautiful. We'll definitely need to add on all this information.
Well, that building is, I believe, just like pyramid in England, in Egypt. I think it was built by God. Because when I look at the massiveness, there's no way I can explain it. Even the years you took for building, more than 20 years.
Consistency.
Yes.
Your dreams
And sometimes you build and it breaks down because it doesn't meet the
right.
standard.
Don't worry, I've been there before.
But eventually, it was done. And it has been sitting in India now for many years. It's not going anywhere. But then again, it should be a beacon of hope for the new generation, your generation. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure,
Yes. So that
they're watching
building
right now.
is a miracle that can happen from above. From a one tapper, from a tree climber for looking for mail, to the shores of Harvard education in Boston, to the beautiful electric city of Las Vegas. Okay? You're telling me there's no God's hand in it? Let people go play with that, we'll see. So, it is my divine helper that made it, and I just hope that whoever gets on that building will realize with God everything is possible.
Yes. Come on.
So that it will do more good than anything. Even when we all are gone.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? People will be talking about it.
Yes.
So that some young child who is coming from the fetching the water will read the story and say, well, I'm going to believe in what he believes in. I believe in God is goodness. God, put God and move one and put O is goodness. Yes.
Love that.
And you just have to believe.
Right.
You really have to believe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm telling you, that's my protector. That's my protection. That's my advisor. Because even if you don't know, you go and pray and say, advise me, Lord. Take away my enemies away from me. And then you want to challenge that, let's see. Because he'll make sure that you're not touched.
Exactly.
Oh, that was very inspiring.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for finding time to sit
Yeah.
down. It's so inspiring. And I believe that anyone who set eyes on this podcast, on your voice and your story and where you started from and where you're at now, it will trigger hope. It will trigger faith. And even depression will even has to diminish, because it's like, oh, if he can, why not me?
That's right.
Because you were not fed a gold spoon, silver spoon. You just told us everything that you went through. And it's very inspiring. Thank you so much
So
for
what's
sharing
one
story.
last thing that, maybe someone, a young person, maybe even around my age, someone out there is watching this right now, they have big aspirations, maybe even not necessarily in the medical field, and, life is tough. What's one piece of advice you'd give to them? Because, of course, you're very passionate about what you do, but you're also very entrepreneurial. I'm sure people, they Google you, they see big figures, and there's certain presumptions, but what's one thing and one last piece of advice that you'll leave the listeners with?
I know there's many, but what's one
No,
thing?
but really, I go back to what I believe in. Okay? Trust in the Maker. You can start as early. The earlier you start communicating with God, His immense message, the better. And emulate good people. Okay? If there's something good in me, you want to emulate it because it works. I emulated a lot of folks. I've seen some really good role models. You can see the tenacity of Nelson Mandela, right?
Yes.
You can see the tenacity of Martin Luther King,
Yes, of course.
Tafawa Balewa in Nigeria, Azikiwe. Okay, all these people, they were young Gen Zs of their time. They're very young. Jesus, 33, started at 30 years. Okay? So what I tell everybody is try to stay away from what is not good. Even if your parents didn't teach you that, don't go doing it. Don't do anything bad, but work hard. Have a delayed gratification.
Oh, that's the word, delayed
Yeah,
gratification.
yes.
I think my generation wants everything
Everything
instant,
right now.
right away. What's
Okay?
the fastest way
Yes.
to do this?
They don't
right?
want to. Most people don't want to go to medical school. They don't want
Yeah.
to take so long
Yeah.
to be a doctor.
Yes.
Okay, so
Delayed
the only thing is,
gratification.
you really see some people from that did the Facebook and why they did this, or you see Bill Gates, or you see Elon Musk. Those people are there for a reason. But majority of the people start from believing. Okay, don't be reckless. Okay, but love your neighbor from childhood, because the grace of God will follow you always. That's it. So anybody listening to this podcast, just work hard. The early mind is more powerful than late mind. Oh,
I need to listen to that.
Oh, repeat that one more time.
early mind. The early mind who doesn't even think about death is more powerful than when we say old and wise. Old and wise. Okay, I want young and wise. Now, I leave you with foresight and hindsight. You know what foresight means? Yes. And hindsight. Gather a lot of hindsights from other folks. That way it become your foresight. A little bit of 10% of foresight that you have will place you ahead of your peers. Because if you know there's a danger in this road, are you going to go there? No. Because there you have a foresight. Right? So, be a good person. Work hard when you're young, when you can beat sleep, and don't be sick. Okay? Because when you get to 40s and 50s and 60s, even if you want to do good, the health might get in place.
You got to slow down at least a little bit. So
and this,
take advantage of your youth and the
remember
energy.
the grades, the stages of maturity, from oral stage and infant, the annual stage, and all these, the adolescent, all those stages. It's real. But if you go through the stages, and then when you get old, you don't have so much regrets. Okay? So this is the the age now, Gen Zs, and I have them in my house. Okay? That's all I have, really.
Me
Oh,
too.
you too, huh?
Yeah.
All I have is Gen Zs. And Gen Z can't tell, I just
Is
negotiate.
Mother Gen Z?
No, I don't know. but he's
Anybody
not.
less than 30 is
No
a
one
Gen
is
Z.
different. No one is different.
Yes. So,
No one Marlon is different.
oh, really? So, anybody less than 30 now is Gen Z.
Oh, okay. Then maybe he is. Okay.
Yeah, anybody 20s is a Gen Z. And you guys, I call you AI. Okay?
Yes.
AI. Okay? So, just, don't look for quick fix. Knowledge is what?
Power.
Thank you. That's the answer. Knowledge is power. You have knowledge, you have your prayers, you have belief in God, and you do no harm to folks. How are you not going to be successful? Because even if you're not, somebody will remember you and say, come with me.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think this was an eye-opener for sure.
Yes.
I appreciate your time.
Yes, I'm happy that you ladies were able to give me the opportunity, even though at one point it was emotional. But this is the most in-depth I have gone about my life.
Oh.
I hope it becomes instrumental
It will.
to whoever
Definitely.
is listening to
It will, definitely.
Yes.
But
Thank you for the opportunity.
thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for being with
Right.
us. Thank you so
you.
much, Dr. Maduka.
Thank you very much.